So this is a Wednesday video, and it's to go with my greatest discoveries of 2023, and this is kind of my frags of shame, the fragrances that I haven't loved. I've got to keep it very brief and to very few, so I don't waffle on and go off on one like can happen with these sorts of things. And I'm not saying any of these are bad or that they're no good. They're just not to my taste, and they were things generally that made me quite sad. I mean, the bottom line is probably the lack of creativity, the fact most of them smell the same, the fact I expect more, it's not fair to say we, from these particular brands and people and all of that. And it's not like having a dig at anyone or anything, they're just not my personal taste. So first up is Prada Paradox Intense. Now this seems to be, again, not knocking it, it's a very kind of loved fragrance. But to me personally, it was just, I think this is a good one to typify 2023. It's kind of this shampooey, caramelly, it's your kind of plastic floral that we used to loads of vanilla, that kind of thing. It's just the thing that made me most sad about it is it's hyped to hell, but there's just a million fragrances that smell like it, and when you spray this and sniff it, you'll go, I've smelled this before, I'm sure I've smelled this before. And you have, in practically every designer release of the last couple of years, and I just don't understand the point of it and why. I like Prada, I think they have some pretty good fragrances actually, but this one, no. Prada Paradox, I can just about remember, is slightly different. I wouldn't, it's just as generic, to be fair, but it's a slightly different idea. Well, this one, no, it was a miss. Next, I kind of feel guilty putting this one in, but it's an award-winning one apparently, and it's very hyped. And I thought it's from a smaller brand, but not, So again, this is my personal opinion, and if it's won awards and it's been hyped to hell and stuff, it's obviously good, but I just don't get it, and that's fair enough. I was a little annoyed my sample came without a label. Well, I say a little, it really got my goat. But anyway, that's SOI London's Aphrodite. Now, it's supposed to be this like vibrant, tropical by the beach kind of thing. Fruits, tropical fruits, lovely fresh mango and all of that. Now, hats off to the people who smell that. I didn't. To me, it was just basically like a fruity conditioner. You do, in fairness, you do get the hints kind of mango, and it is coconutty, but coconutty in a conditioner way. It didn't really take me to the beach and what have you. Again, nothing against SOI, and the perfumer for this fragrance is an excellent perfumer. It just didn't work on me, and I think when we do this, we have to be honest. This video is not about slagging off fragrances for drama and whatnot. It's just what I personally didn't enjoy that year and why. And what I'll also add to it is, notice the last one I said was quite shampooey, this one more conditionery. It's the lack of something new. I mean, this is supposed to be based on a discontinued one from Galan. Is it Coconut Fizz? I can see why that's said, but no, I just didn't enjoy this fragrance, and again, it's all subjective. I actually didn't mind Empress too much, actually, and not everyone loved that, and some people did love it, but I actually didn't mind Empress. So this one was a bit kind of a shame for me. But yeah, that's SOI London's Aphrodite. Next up is a very recent one released this year and an award winner again, and from a very popular brand that people love, and I know people who I really respect with really good taste who absolutely love this one. So, you know, again, it's personal and subjective, but we have to, I don't know why I keep explaining it, you know, I've got no beef with anyone or anything. We just have to be honest about what we like and dislike, and some we dislike. And this was Parfums de Mari's Altair or however you want to say it. Now we're currently, for some bizarre reason, towards the end of this year has become a vanilla craze. That's the in thing. Vanilla. I just don't know. I mean, why? Vanilla's been about forever. Vanilla's vanilla. You know, they're not doing anything exciting and what have you with it. Yeah, and this one obviously is vanilla, done in a Parfums de Mari style. It isn't, you know, it does have a little bit of uniqueness about it. It's not like every other vanilla we've smelt for a bazillion times. And actually, with this one, I'm being fair. I can see why people like this one. However, it's vanilla, and Parfums de Mari fragrances just don't really connect with me. They don't. There's something in their DNA that really doesn't work on me. It's a bit off, a bit sharp, overly. I'm not criticising synthetic fragrances because that's fair dues, but whatever they use grates with me. It gives me a headache, melts my brain. Is not for me, and this is no exception. And I just don't get the point of it, and what the cost of it as well, and everything about it. Just no, not at all. But I can see why people love it, and if you're a Parfums de Mari fan, why not? You want their vanilla. But yeah, that was a shame as well. And how it won an award when it had just been released is, yeah, I'm starting to notice patterns with these award things. Yeah, it's not all legit, is it? I'd say. But yeah, that's Parfums de Mari Altair. Another one that, you know, a little bit like Sophie, where it's a big kind of influencer. And again, I love the influencer. Nothing against Gabby. Gabby loves perfume. But Chocolate Queen was just another one of these fragrances that shocked me. Again, like Sophie's fragrance, made by a very talented, gifted perfumer who's actually made many a fragrance I truly love. And it just, I mean, people love it as well, apparently. I've not really clicked with the Navitus ones, let's say. I think they're very expensive, but like I always say, you can, you know, if you're an artist, you can only paint with the materials you're given. And yeah, it's obviously a gourmand. It's got every gourmand possible thing that you can think of just jammed in there. That don't smell anything like reality. Just kind of a gloop of sweet gloop. And some screechy kind of things that the synthetic notes that didn't, again, this is all subjective, didn't really go with me. And really, again, possibly subjectively, one of the worst things I have ever smelt in my life. It just didn't work on me at all. And it's always, we can always sit here and say, you know, how do other people love this? This is so bad on me. And because we all have different tastes and different expectations and different experiences, so it's not a bad fragrance. Just for me, it was just was too much. It was not a pleasure. So that's Navitus Chocolate Queen. Is it Chocolate Queen? I'll put up the right title if I've got that wrong, but yeah, I mean, I appreciated the sample to try, but it just wasn't for me. And finally, I'd feel kind of amiss not mentioning this, and it's from one of my favourite brands of all time, one of the best designers that's ever existed, but over the last 5+ years, oh my, what's gone on, what's happened? And that's Mugler. I'm not going to talk about a specific fragrance in particular. There's you know, where's this dog going? There's Angel Elixir we'll start with, which is this fruity stuff, kind of weird fruity. On paper it smells lovely, by the way, but actually on skin it's just this kind of fruity generic stuff that's got literally, again, I don't know why this is a surprise either, literally nothing at all to do with Angel. It's a shame. And then which goddess should I pick? Let's just pick them all. I mean, goddess, I'm not even going to call it alien. It's got nothing to do with alien. Again, it's just using the name. They're releasing all these fragrances with these names of legendary fragrances that we all love and we all adore, and that are some of the greatest fragrances ever made, and they're just kind of using the name to sell them. The Goddess range is not just the worst range I've ever smelt from Mugler. It's one of the worst ranges I've sniffed over the last few years. It's how can we make something as generic as possible, as sweet as possible, as kind of not unique, not scary, that everyone and, you know, younger people I suppose are going to love. But I don't agree with that. I think younger people like edgier stuff, but whatever. And this one, I mean, the last Goddess I sniffed, can't remember what it's called. Was it Elixir? Who knows? Smelled like that Paradox. It could have been the same fragrance, to be fair. It's just I mean, is Prada owned by L'Oreal? I don't know, but it was just, it makes me sad. And again, this is all subjective. People may love these new Muglers that have got nothing to do with Mugler, but Mugler used to be about being unique, taking a risk. Not everyone's going to love them. They're wildly different, they're out there, they're interesting. Now these new ones, no, they have no relationship to Mugler at all. And when you're releasing flankers of legends, and then flankers of legends that have nothing to do, it's an insult to us all, isn't it? But yeah, I'm not going to waffle on. Like I said, I try to keep this brief. That's let's just say that's Mugler. So yeah, you know, I'm finished now. I've finished my moaning. Again, I need to point this out again. I don't have anything against any of these fragrances or any of the brands. They're all very popular, actually, very popular. So I know it's just a personal thing, but I think that, you know, to keep it real, I big up fragrances all the time and say how great they are and how much I love them. We can't love them all. They're not all going to be for us, and some things are just not going to work. And for different reasons, each of these have disappointed me and made me sad in many ways. See, I'm stuck in a tree now, and this is kind of, you know, what you call karma. Right, I'm out. But yeah, I don't mean anything bad by it. I'm not picking on any brands. I'm not saying any of them are bad either. To me, don't love them. Anyway, what about yourself? What's disappointed you this year? What were the worst, well, last year, what were the worst things you smelt? Are you kind of sad about the overall direction of how things are just becoming one generic copycat goop following the trends? Everyone's got to have, you know, maybe next it'll be Twig will be scent of the year because someone's decided it. And they've all decided amongst themselves. It's no coincidence that they all come out at the same time. And yeah, are you up for Twig of the year? And them all smelling exactly the same. You're going to get your Prada Twig, your Alien Goddess twig, your SOI London twig, your Parfums de Mari twig. Is this where fragrance is now? Just kind of nothing, no joy. Well, that's not true, because you know, in the indie world and some niche brands still like to be creative and exciting. Anyway, this was such a waffly, rambly one, and most unlike me, to be so kind of not straight to the point. But truth is, no fragrances are bad. It's all subjective, it's all what we love. And you've got to remember that all fragrances are made by perfumers, artists, creators. Some are better than others because maybe the briefs aren't as good, the ingredients, but again, subjective. Alright folks, thanks, bye, and a happy new year whenever this may come out.